Being in need is no fun. Being in need is no fun. There is a climax to need. People don't usually find themselves there on a consistent basis. They find themselves there eventually or casually or inevitably. Sometimes it's a serious case of consequences that'll put you in need. Now, for the majority of how we live our lives, the biggest thing about need is not having money, right? Money really is, as they say, they used to use it called currency, right? It's electricity, right? it it really causes so much to go on. Like, you cannot take action, and if you take certain kinds of action without it, you'll find you're limited and held back because you couldn't do this, that, and the other because it wasn't there. Now, the things that leads up to whether or not God inspired money, the thing is, he inspired success, he inspired prosperity, he inspired, he even said, hand of the diligent makes one rich, right? And to be diligent is not only to be able to be an expert worker, but it's also the character behind the worker, the type of person that is doing the work that guarantees the prosperity. In return, the worker gets a wage, and that wage equates to money, right? We can't escape the fact that money is so important as to our operations in life. Unless you found yourself want to be like Buddha or whatever, run off and be poor and needy and think you found nirvana, whatever you think you found. Really, and that, to me, that's a lot of deception, because even people went down these little soul searching adventures and journeys in their life. At some point, they came to realize, now what? Because a lot of people, once they're busy doing what they're doing out there, and they're working diligently, they're not going to sit there and go, "Oh, because you're on some kind of a journey, that means I should stop everything I'm doing and give you my stuff so you can be all happy." No, 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 that's not the way it works. Everybody's got to do their share, right? The thing that leading up to need, it comes basically because you've been compromised and compromised along the way. And I can tell you from experience that the people that you sometimes the least suspect, who are going to bring you on your knees because of need, are the people who don't have a good attitude towards money. They have a lazy, it's yours to have and mine to, it's yours to, it's yours, sure, it's yours to have, but it's mine to be given to. They have an attitude where they're entitled to other people's stuff. And the thing is, about all of these low qualities in a person, there's certain types of invisible information that attaches themselves to these people. And because of that level of a lack of integrity and uprightness, you can be guaranteed it's not going to be God smiling on them. It will be evil. Evil. Evil will teach them gladly how to be a thief, how to be a swindler, how to be cunning, how to be charming, how to be outrightly nasty should the situation present itself. And you will find out that these people have the power. They really have the power. Now, the thing is about time. Time is on our side and supposed to gives us the time to see things clearly. But time can be your biggest enemy, because time will will give them, the bad people, the time to slowly mess you up so badly that you won't even know what happened to you. And before you know it, you're stuck, you're trapped, and they're gone. And they're gone with your stuff. And they operate so well in life that why change if it works? They've learned to be a professional thief by using the simplicity, the beauty, innocence of a friendship or a relationship to slowly come in like a snake and slowly bite you with their venom. And the venom that they bite you with will cause you to go into a delusional state that you think time is on your side with them. And what time does after a certain point, it's like a time bomb. At some point, the numbers hit the striker and the bomb goes off, and you are left fragmented, broken, and literally destroyed, where you've now come to the place called need. It'll take a while to recover from that. Because where time is their friend and yours when you learn your lesson, time was also giving you little tidbits of information along the way as to why you kept ignoring what was so obviously in plain sight yet hidden. And it's only hidden because the problem lies within the person who will later on cry victim. Okay? It takes something inside of you to really do a lot of soul searching, because need will cause you to become really upset. It will cause you to search more deeper than you ever did in your life. And it will cause you to really regret. And hopefully you don't see some people, what they do in a case of regret, they regress. And then they give up, and then they say this, that, and the other. But it's supposed to teach you, because you will eventually bounce back. Good people eventually bounce back. The Bible says that the righteous, though they fall 7 times over, they always will bounce back and get up again, because the Lord lifts them up. God of heaven, the way he teaches mankind, he teaches man through responsibility. With the information you have, and trust me, we all do it, with the information you have, it's enough. It is enough to be your guard, so you don't end up in the place of need. A lot of times this really where it gets a little more complex, when you ended up in a need place because of what you couldn't help. Okay? What you couldn't help, like family, for instance, in your life, like being married to somebody whom you everything was going fine, and then years later he or she switches on you, and you didn't see it. It was like, no, you couldn't see it, but there it was. Someone once said that experiences, or a good woman or a good man, will either teach you to become a philosopher, or you'll be most blessed of all. It is imperative that you spend your life, that you very careful of what is coming out from your life. Because as soon as it leaves and is given to permission, signed over legally by you saying, okay, you can have it, here you go, or you think you're a big shot, like if I had a lot of money, I started giving my money away like an idiot. I thought I was, oh boy, I'm such a saint, right? I didn't really, I don't know if that's what I really thought, but I felt good doing it. And you know what? Feeling good doing something good does not mean it's good. Because, if you give, if you give your time, your money, your effort, your life, especially if your life is is one that embraces goodness. When you give something over, at times you're really dropping it into a pit from which there is no return. And what I mean by return, you don't have a return on your investment. And one thing I've learned, I'm now 63 years old, and I've made a decision because of the hard knocks of being in need. And it's all because I was not careful with where I was investing my time, my energy, my efforts. I'll tell you this, hang on to what you have. God doesn't say it's wrong to have what you have. Okay. Secondly, when you're going to invest, you better make sure that it's going to be in reciprocation. Never give, as people say, oh, I give and I don't expect anything in return. It depends where you're giving. If you want to give to someone on the street that's in need or whatever, or someone who really needs some financial help, that's something you did. That's a one-off, right? But I'm talking in general. The majority of the times people end up in need, it was because of a recurring breaking down in your life from a relationships, or even where you are, even your career, things that you knew were breaking you and busting you up terribly. You will have no other choice but to discover it was bankrupting you all along. And good people suffer more in this life than bad people because good people trust a little bit too much when they should not. So I'm going to leave you with that. God is big, God is full, God is abundant. And when you're good and you desire to be good, no one's absolutely 100% good. But when you desire that, you get endowed with better things coming into your life. And one thing God will make you understand through hard knocks of need is that you don't have to go invest into people who are not willing to learn their lessons through the place of need. No, don't go making it easy for people. Let them suffer. Let them have their hardships because you did. And a lot of times you'll discover when your hardships came about and you helped those people, they were never there to be with you. It just goes to show they haven't learned anything in life. You will learn your best lessons in life as a good human being. That when you go through hard times, you'll say, I don't want anyone to experience the pain I did, and I'll make it easy for them. But it's okay to be like that. But be careful. Some people do deserve to actually experience a little bit more tougher times because they are not following what is good. Have a good day. Like and subscribe.